Hello and welcome to Flashback, a weekly look at stories from years gone by. It's not easy being a firefighter, and it's a lot more than you think. It's more than just fighting fires. In this story from 1991, we showed you new training for firefighters, helping them equip to save lives from a car accident. Let's look at that story.
Terrace recently was the site of a week-long course stressing equipment and the finer points of auto extrication. Over 20 Northwest firefighters took part from Grand Isle to Kitimat, and even one fireman made the journey from Prince George. The course itself and the exposure for firefighters and life-saving personnel with some of the industry's high-tech training equipment proved two important points. First, the desire of those in the area to acquire additional knowledge, and secondly, it presented the benefits of future enhancement.
I thought it was really well received. All the students I talked to thought it was well overdue course. Some of the individuals in Terrace have had such courses before, but a lot of the smaller communities such as Grand Isle, Houston, and such really give them an opportunity to participate.
When you were watching some of your men, what were you specifically looking for throughout the course of the week?
Just different things on safety, various techniques. Of course, teamwork is very important.
Just to help people that need it. I mean, if you come onto a situation, you better be able to handle it to the best of your ability and get the people and do the best job possible.
You have life-saving situations thrust upon you at any hour, any time of day. Is there a measure of comfort, perhaps, knowing that these devices are there because you know that you may be put in a situation where what you do saves someone's life, and if you have these devices handy, is there a measure of comfort for you?
Oh, sure. I mean, if the equipment's not there and you go somewhere, I mean, it's going to be a lot more difficult, isn't it? The more tools you have, better off you're going to be.
As mentioned, while educational courses of this nature provide immediate benefits, their long-term effects are likely much more important.
The demands, the expectations put on the fire service today are increasing twofold. It's incredible from the time when I started back in 1974 as a firefighter to today's expectations. Hazardous material response, emergency medical care, extrication and rescue services, fire prevention, fire investigation, fire education, and along with the physical demands is the emotional strain that's put on them. We here in Terrace are extremely fortunate to have a composite fire department with the degree of dedication that we have. Most of us in this community go home to bed at night and wake up when the alarm clock goes off. Here in Terrace, the 30-odd members of this fire department never know when they're going to have to respond from their place of business, from their place of work, or from their home in a dead sleep to respond to someone's needs in this community. And so, again, I stress it's not just the physical demands that are put on them with the equipment and the concern and the risks, but it's the emotional stress that's placed on the members. And I've been associated with many fire departments across Canada. We are very fortunate in Terrace to have the dedication and commitment by the members here.
The auto extrication course was made even more beneficial due to the presence of Ken Jones. Jones, a fire advisor for the province of Ontario, put the Northwest firefighters through their paces all week long. Jones believes fire departments and procedures change from province to province, but the most precious commodities remain consistent.
The individuals are the most important resource we have in providing the service. Obviously, there's a difference within Ontario and within the province of British Columbia as to the capabilities of different community fire departments and rescue people. That depends, the different factor is the type of equipment and the type of training that they've received. You melt those all together, and the end result certainly will be different.
This particular course displayed some of the finest life-saving equipment in the world. This equipment, as one would expect, has quite a price tag. But according to the Terrace fire chief, that expense is offset by the gains presented.
There are two groups who benefit by equipment and technology. And as the manager for the department, I have the final responsibility laid upon my shoulders as a representative of the city. The first target group that benefits greatly from equipment and ensuring up-to-date technology is the citizens, the residents of the community in which we serve, so that, if it's a fire, proper breathing apparatus, communications, turnout gear, protective gear for my men will allow us to do the job as efficiently and effectively as possible, thus reducing the amount of risk to that individual who we are here protecting. The second group, and as important, and in some ways more important to me, is my men who serve the community and serve the department. It's absolutely critical that I provide them with the best possible equipment to do the job, given the resources, and that obviously is based on a tax base and the ability to purchase this equipment. My men deserve the best possible equipment to make their job easier and safer.
Suffice to say, most fire departments in northwestern British Columbia do not possess much in the way of state-of-the-art life-saving equipment. But this area shouldn't be alarmed. Hard, cold facts indicate the expense sometimes clouds the view for those municipal governments who have to pay the bills.
I think the elected officials, they have so many things on their plate. Fire departments is only one of them. In some places, it may be a necessary evil. Many of them are very, very responsible and make very informed decisions to try and enhance the service. At this time in our lives, they have to make some very, very difficult decisions with regards to fiscal restraints. I'm sure that they really mean well, they really mean to provide the best service possible, but in many, many cases, I dare say they're making uninformed decisions. I think a course like this, the efforts of the fire chief here in Terrace, some of the local fire chiefs, to better inform the elected officials of how they can better enhance their service, will go a long way to improving the service for the communities.
Are we adequately equipped? I can frankly say no. There are areas that I must strive for, and I must provide the background and do my homework in making my budgetary presentations to Council. In the same breath, I can say that to date I have been pleased with Council's support. I look at the future economics for the area and recognize that we are in somewhat of a recession, and that is going to make spending more difficult for the city, and allocation of funds to my department will be limited. That only motivates me to present a stronger case for equipment that we may require in the future.
A creative approach to fire department management must be considered by all fire chiefs as we head to the next century. How dollars are spent in aid of training and equipment is more or less a matter of long-term planning.
We are strictly talking about professionalism. We're talking about establishing a minimal level of fire protection and fire rescue capabilities. I hope that this community and the taxpayers and City Council recognize that I do represent their interest and look at the global perspective for this community, and am not looking to acquire equipment that would not be required or could not be justified, so that when I prepare a budget, when I look at our needs for the community, I, as a taxpayer of this community as well, am cognizant of what dollars are available and what equipment is absolutely necessary. And that's what I'm striving for, is to acquire the equipment that is only absolutely necessary, and at the same time plan for and work towards future needs for this community, to be proactive rather than reactive.